Shree Swaminarayan. Welcome to YYM Episode 2. Today, we are going to be talking to some very cool guests, Dipaben and Dipin. Jai Shree Swaminarayan, guys.
Jai Swaminarayan.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good.
Thanks. Yeah.
Bit cold outside, but
Yeah, it's a bit chilly. Yeah,
cold.
snow and all. So 2022, it's gone so quick, hasn't it?
It definitely has.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. When you think about it, 2022, 23 is here, 25th bhaktos was last year, and now we're damn 26 as well. So it's crazy. COVID's gone, but then there's another disease and whatnot, but it's still quick,
Yeah.
It's been a long year, but it's gone quick.
Yeah, literally blinked your eye and it's gone. So,
Mm-hmm.
what's been the highlight of your year? What's been the highlight of 2022 to you?
Ladies first.
Okay. I think personally, I'll say is the older Mandir Patasa, the welcoming Gansha Maharaj and sitting on the front row seats with my daughter and experiencing that. I think that was the most magical moment for me.
Yeah, actually, it was great. That is one as well for me, but I'm not going to say. The other thing as well is the mandirs, all the utsavas happened throughout the year as well. And the biggest one for me, was the 25th Gansha Maharaj. Imagine, right? When you celebrate your 25th, how amazing do you feel?
Go all out.
You go all out and stuff, right? And the 25th that we had last year, despite all the COVID and stuff that's happened, right? But we still managed to actually get through it and get everything done. And it was so crazy, we could have shut down the whole place and not even do it.
Yeah.
But then everything still went smoothly and it's just crazy. And when you think about it, it's just
it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
how Bhagwan does everything is amazing.
Yes.
And I feel like this year has been full of quite a few challenges as well. The Strapper A coming out for kids, unfortunately, COVID's still around, the cost of living crisis. So there's a lot of challenges that the UK as well as the world are facing. So how we have to be grateful, don't we? We have to understand, Maharaj has given us a lot. So what does gratitude mean to you?
I think it's a feeling that comes within. So, like you say, lots of things have happened this year. So, because we could compare this year to previous years where things didn't happen, we're grateful that this sort of things don't happen every day. So, it's a feeling to praise Bhagwan and say thank you that once in a while this happened. So, we'd be grateful for all the good years we've had, and in the future for the good years to come.
That is true. That is, I think for me, gratitude is more being appreciative, and I think is as shallow as it sounds, right? Being appreciative. This day and age, we lack the appreciation. No matter what we do, right? You look at the generation that are coming through as well, and when you speak to them, there's a lot of I want this, I want that, but then they forget what they have and they're not appreciative. And that's the biggest thing for me. Just whatever you have, right, in life, just appreciate. Whether you feel like it's not enough, go with the flow. It is what it is, So that's for me personally is appreciation. That's what I feel like gratitude.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel like it's a journey. It's a journey from when you have your realization that I want to be grateful. It begins from there, but then it's something that you have to do continuously. You have to continuously feed it. It's like having a baby. You're not going to feed a baby and then just leave it for the entire year, are you? That's not going to happen. You have to continue.
I think it's a learning thing. You have to keep learning. You want to be, once it becomes natural, meaning it becomes your lifestyle, but it didn't become straight away. You have to keep nurturing it. So I think gratitude evolves as we personal growth including.
That is true. Yeah, it's your experience you have that will makes you grateful for certain things, right?
Yeah.
So when you go through certain phases in life, experiences and whatnot, right, that actually helps you become a better person, and those experiences then helps you think about what you're grateful for. Anything that happens in life, whatever it is, right? People always contemplate about why has it happened or not, but they're not thinking that what's the reason behind it.
Yeah.
It's always why. Came to you or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But it should be what's the reason behind it. If it's happened, then why did it happen? But give me a reason. You need to find your own reasoning. Yeah. You can't be this day and start blame game. I think that's the biggest thing we do is blame games.
I think it's a natural human tendency.
That is
The
true,
first thing is you always react to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's true.
Everything that happens, you become more reactive to things. And then when you think about it, because we've been brought up in satsang, we have different views about it. We come to Yuvak Mandal, we've been taught how to deal with situations. So from the reactive phase, you move to being active and, being surrounded by people that lift you up as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
I had this really nice quote, and I always remember when I'm going through hardships, it's that a seed thinks it's being buried, but actually it's being planted.
Yeah.
And I find that so motivating, because in moments when we feel like we're going through so much hardship and we can't find that element of gratitude in it because we feel like we're in this cloud of darkness, it's really in those times when we grow as a person. And when we reflect back on all the hardships we've had in our life, we think, wow, how did I even get through that? And it's really the power within and the realization that, you know what, I can do this, I can get through this. And that's what helps us nurture that seed that we thought was being buried, but actually being planted. And I think it's so powerful,
It's the way like gratitude works based on perspective, right? And when you look up, when, like you said, certain things happen in life, right?
Yeah.
We always concentrate on a one focal point, right? But we don't see what's surrounding us.
Yeah.
And I think when we have a better perspective of what's around us, right, that changes our mindset. And the thing about gratitude is all about mindset.
Yeah.
When you're grateful for certain things that happen in life, you yourself are more healthy because you're feeding your brain to think like, look, it's done, it's dusted. But you're not contemplating on the past, but you're more thinking about the future. You're more excited about it, and that's what gratitude does. And that's the main thing I think the future generation needs to start adopting. Like, it's difficult.
I think that's a good point you put, that gratitude is from the heart.
Yeah.
So normally we tend to think from the mind and the body, but being grateful comes from the heart. So that warm feeling to appreciate things around you. So when we talked about being reactive, you're reactive to negative things or the bad experiences because you're thinking from your mind. But if you think from your heart, it's way beyond that.
That's true.
Yeah. So you're not in the bubble anymore because you're thinking from your heart.
So building all this gratitude and this perception, it comes with a journey, like I said. So could you tell me what your journey is regarding gratitude and how you got to where you are today? Was there like a point in your life where you thought, oh my gosh, like instantly just thought, gratitude, I'm now grateful because I've had this moment?
It's hard to just have instant. For me, previously, right, I was never grateful for anything as I was spoiled, and certain things have happened like a couple of years that made me appreciate more about my life. Made me appreciate like, look, there's more to it. And the one thing was a biggest culprit, right? I'm a biggest culprit, and I'm not saying it for the sake of it, but it's like we tell people like be grateful and stuff, right? But I wasn't really grateful. I was telling people, hey, you know what, just be grateful.
It almost becomes a phase, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't doing it myself. And then afterwards, I don't know what happened here, and it just became like it is what it is situation. And now I look at it, I'm just like, things have happened and it happened for a reason, right? Before I was contemplating about it, and you don't need that. And what that done to me, I had quite a negative mindset. And I wasn't feeding myself with the positivity I needed. And that affected the relationship with myself and my family as well. Yeah. And then like I mentioned before, like a couple years ago, things started to change. I started like being more grateful for things that's happened rather than contemplating on it. And suddenly everything around me just worked. Like it was like a click, like it was like a puzzle, right? It's just everything started creating pieces. And I was like, damn, man. And then when you reflect back, you're like, if I thought about this, or if I was like more grateful before, right, I would be in a much better place. It would have been better.
A lot earlier.
Yeah. But even then, you have to still be grateful. Like all this journey, all those things that happened has made you a better person. Like if you didn't go through that stuff, I don't think I would be the person I am right now.
Agreed.
And it also helps me reflect on my life and say, you know what, fine, it's happened, but be grateful that it's happened and it's shaped you as a person. Every action, every consequence that's not the word. Everything that happens in life, right? There's always a reason behind it.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be like as a human being, you're always like, oh, I came to you. So I think, just for me, what do you think?
I think my journey has been a bit different. So, like how I was brought up in satsang, my parents, I would like to say they brought me up really well. So every time when we were little, my dad always used to say, oh, Ketla Jive Brahman man, you've been chosen, like to, Maharaj. And I always used to hear it, but you almost used to be up in the air. Like you've heard it so many times. And only when I reached a certain stage in my life, and because I was so used to listening to this thing, then I realized actually all that makes sense now. So it's when I left Kenya to come here to study, and I went to Cardiff, and then I was on my own. It's almost like a phase on my own, and all the things what my parents had said then, it began to make sense then. And I was so grateful for everything around. When I saw things around, it's a different lifestyle to where I was born, like a sheltered lifestyle almost. But I was so grateful to how they brought me up. So I could upkeep that, even though I was studying in a university. None of that outside real bubble really touched me. I mean, I'm so grateful to Maharaj to have saved me. But I was surrounded by different people. I mean, like Cardiff Mandir people, I'd like to say, they really helped me. They're really warm people. They helped my satsang still grow, even though I was in a different environment. So I'll say that gratitude has always been there. Is how you look at it. So every stage in your life, if you know that you've given yourself to Maharaj and he's looked after you, then you're forever grateful to it, because he's put people in places to help you to get through every phase. And that's been quite beautiful, I think.
And before we move on, shout out to Cardiff.
I remember when I think it was 14. And I was just like, I'm a big quote girl. So I was just searching quotes on Pinterest or something. It was like a big phase at the time. And there was this one quote that really hit me. And it was along the lines of, imagine if you only had tomorrow what you thank God for today. I'll repeat that again. Imagine if you only had tomorrow what you thank God for today. And I was scratching my head. I was lying down in bed. It was like 9 o'clock by bedtime. I was scratching my head thinking, what do I actually thank God for? The only thing I really thank God for is school and my friends. And I was like, imagine if I wake up tomorrow and I don't have my family. I don't have money. I don't have my friends. And then it gave me that realization moment. Like, I need to be more grateful. I need to really appreciate everything around me, because if I was to wake up tomorrow, I still want everything around me. I still want everyone to be around me. I still want the same opportunities as I had today, And I just thought that was such a powerful quote that changed my life, and that was my changing point when it came to gratitude. So I guess, how can we practice this element of gratitude? We have it in our lives all the time, but how can we practice it in satsang? You mentioned about Brahmans and understanding that we're one Manisha there amongst like 7.8, 8.9, I don't know what the number is, billion lives. But how else can we practice it in satsang?
I think appreciating, like I said, common people talk about gratitude in a different way, but our gratitude starts with Maharaj. I mean, the reason why we're here today is because of Maharaj. I mean, we've met each other through Yuvak Mandal. Had that not been in place, we wouldn't be here. So I think gratitude is everything. It starts with Maharaj and it ends with Maharaj. I mean, he's the reason why we are here. He's the reason while we are breathing. I mean, like GP27, everything's there. How we breathe, how the sun rises, sunsets, everything's there. So I think to me, gratitude is Maharaj.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, actually, even if you think about it, right, the things, like, let's take it back, right, when Maharaj's time, things he's been through, right, the yatra is done, right, all the stuff he's done it for who? For us, right? For our betterment. And just because he's been through the stuff, he said it in all the shastras as well, right? And what that does, it actually helps us, it protects us. Or some people nowadays, what they do is I'm not putting anyone out or anything, right? We always say the shastra is wrong, or shastra is this, shastra is that, right? but it's all written from before Marriage time. It tells you what you need to do, what you need to be grateful for, right? Because he's done it.
Yeah.
And you should be thankful for those kind of like top, right?
Yeah.
We won't be able to do it.
No.
Right?
4 months of Chaturmas as
Exactly.
well.
That's crazy, man.
For Nilkantwani to be only 16 years old and doing that. It's so cold now. Like how cold it is
I was already
outside.
complaining before.
Yeah, they were in layers.
But he didn't even have enough clothes and he was just standing. And the weather, it was extreme cold or extreme heat.
Yeah.
So we who was there then? Well, he did it for all us.
Mhm.
But even now, Narna and Devi is doing tapasya in Vadikasham.
Yes,
Who is he doing it for?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, for us. And hence we're also excited about the next Budjagan, which is 200 years. Yeah, so we're so grateful. We get to experience that in our lifetime.
Yeah.
That's the other thing as well. Like, as I previously mentioned as well, right? We always complain.
Mm.
कि हमारा job करिए ना वो करिए. But we never satisfied with the things that we never see from our eyes कि जित लोग करियो है, yeah, it's shaped us who we are. It shaped us our sampradaya. It's shaped us satsang.
Yeah.
It's got us closer to you.
Mhm.
Right? Because of his satsang, the word satsang, right? I'm talking to you and everyone around the Mandir, the Yuvak Mandal established because the main man.
Yeah.
But sometimes we just never grateful for that. And we think, okay, Allah Yuvak Mandal, cool. But there's so much to Yuvak Mandal.
Than
Right.
just a tick box.
That's
Yeah?
the tick box.
Mm.
It shapes you as a person. And we don't see this. We just see, okay, we come in here, enjoy with our friends,
Mm.
I do some presentation and go home. But we don't really think deep down.
But that might be a journey for
for other
different
people. Exactly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we might be at the stage in our life where we appreciate it.
Yeah.
But the kids that come, yeah,
They
for
might not
them
be,
is a fun thing. But it's fine. That's how it starts.
It's all
They're
growing
being
into it.
surrounded
Yeah.
by positive people. And slowly they might reach that stage where we are now. And they might look back and say, I'm grateful for what I had. Yeah, they might be here next time.
It's always that cycle,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like looking
Yeah,
back.
it's a cycle.
Yeah.
So they will look back and they will definitely appreciate your Mandal.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that marriage has done a lot for us,
Mm.
more than we ever know, and that like every avatar has done so much to make an imprint on the earth,
Yeah.
so that we can maintain a happy life today, right? And we also mentioned that kids, like we need to help them understand gratitude. So, do you have any ideas of how we could maybe encourage kids to understand gratitude or teach them what it is, especially at an age where we are in, like how you mentioned the Gunpai, that like kids always want say I want this or I want more or I need this, even though they might not need it.
Yeah.
It's more so a want.
I think with kids is like how you teach them how we've taught them how to talk, we teach them manners. I think gratitude should be taught from a young age. And it's so important because if we teach them gratitude from a young age, we're kind of shaping their personality as well. Yeah. So, for example, if someone's hungry and you give them a piece of loaf, yeah, bread, then when they eat that, they're quite grateful because their hunger is met, right? But the kids nowadays, like you said, they have everything they need. So if you put a particular food on the plate, they'll eat it, but it doesn't give them the same feeling as if they were very hungry. So if you look at the countries where the kids are deprived of food, if you give them food and you give food to somebody who has everything, the gratitude will be very different. Yeah. So the feeling of appreciative in the kids that are deprived of food will be very different to the kids that have everything. So then we have to look at, well, we're good that the kids have everything, but we need to help them see what it is like in other countries where they don't have that. For example, take them to different countries where kids are deprived of that. Let them see that. Yeah. So when we go to holidays, make sure you're ticking some parts of that where the kids are. When you keep telling them you should be appreciative, you have food. Again, it's a tick box. They've never seen that, and it's not their fault. They don't understand it. But when they actually see people like that, then they appreciate food better.
Yeah.
Things like that, or read books with them where somebody else's lifestyle is a bit different to our lifestyle. Yeah, right. Some kids are in foster homes. if your kid has a nice house, shelter, clothing, all the basic needs, if you're reading different books, they tend to see the other scenario as well. It doesn't feel like, oh, it's only mummy saying it. It actually exists, yeah? Like the books like The Star Outside My Window, things like that, where kids are in foster homes, they will appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I think it's engraving in them from a little age that this is who you are, and they appreciate better. When they're growing up, you will see the little stages of gratitude growing in them as well. Yeah, things like that, I think.
This is like you mentioned, is like you should be teaching your kids from young age. It's part of life.
Part of life.
Yeah, part of life.
Absolutely.
And nowadays, like maybe, I don't know, but what I've observed here is that the younger generation are more into seeing things before, so they believe it, right?
Yeah.
If they see it, then they'll believe it. A great example you gave them was like taking them to orphanage or whatever it is, right? When they see it, they start believing it. It's not just words.
Yeah.
You see it, you feel like, oh,
they have to visualize.
Visualize. And that's what the kids are at the moment. And this is what I was saying about, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you show them how life or difficult is, I think it puts in the head from younger generation, like when they're young, that I'm grateful. Maybe they might not be thinking at that time, but subconsciously in the mind, they're like, yeah, I'm grateful. And as soon as certain things or scenarios start coming in, then everything will start ticking like a tick box, like a puzzle, all jigsaw, all start all piling
they'll
up.
piece it all together.
Yeah.
And a different experience will shape them as well. Like put them in different situations. Like, for example, we say, Ketla Brahman Matla Bada Jive. If you say that to a little child, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, so you need to show them, like, the David Attenborough series, all the different animals. When you watch that together, you say, Aik Jive. The soul in them is the same size as yours. It's not bigger, it's not smaller. For example, I took Puja to a vet hospital, like here, local, and there are little, what are they called? Porcupines. So small little porcupines, they were literally this size, different bag. So she looked at, she said, what are these? I said, these are souls too. Now you see, showing them it from a different viewpoint to say, look, all these are little souls. We might have been like that one day. So then she appreciates the human body we've been given. So that's all. So I think showing them different scenarios, making them experience different things, the gratitude will follow suit.
I agree. And I also think another way of doing it is teaching them about coincidences. That's something I did when I was young. Like, I remember when I used to walk to the bus stop when I used to go to school in the morning, and randomly the bus would be there that I needed at the right time as soon as I got to the bus stop. And I'll be like, thank you, Maharaj, for bringing the bus there so I don't have to be in the cold. Like small things like that, even though they may be coincidences, we can believe that Maharaj brought that incident or that thing in front of us or gave us the opportunity.
But are they really coincidences though? No, if you've surrendered yourself to Maharaj, then they're not really coincidences,
they're really just Maharaj guiding you. And it's another way for you to thank him. Yeah, brilliant. So I'm going to try something new today.
Okay.
Based on another podcast series that I love watching, Jay Shetty and Daman. We're going to do a quick fire round. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Just give the first answer that comes to your head. I want to try it out, see how it goes.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to end up well. We'll try. We'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Let's see what's this for.
So my first question is, what's your go-to technique for gratitude?
You go first.
Go-to technique.
Go-to technique.
I think everything you look at, you appreciate, you relate it back to your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing I've been starting doing here, quick fire, sorry. It's going to be nice. Is first thing is, when you wake up, right? First thing I do, which I've started implementing, is just be grateful. Just thank Bhagwan, okay? You gave me my family and everything around me.
Yeah.
That straight away sets a tone throughout my day, right? It just gives the positivity in me. And then throughout the day, it's just like, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this.
Yeah.
So I think it's just starting off, for me personally, starting off the day with positivity. And just say thank you, and the rest of them follow through.
Love that. Next one is, what personal insight or discovery have you made in your life that you're thankful for? Could be any life experience, could be any life. I can give an example. So over the past year, I've worked with a lot of people, and not everyone is the way we think they are, right?
Mhm.
And a really nice piece of advice that I got from a lot of vanis and santos was, before you even build a relationship with someone, you understand who they truly are. Because the moment you know who they are, you're not disappointed. You don't have any expectations.
Yeah.
And I love that learning, because every time I try to build a bond with someone now, I first try to understand who they are as a person. Where are their flaws and where are their positive traits? So I know how to harness their positive traits and how to be aware of the flaws, so I don't get too taken down by them, if that makes sense. Any insights or discoveries you've found during the year or in your lifetime that you would like to share?
I think mine will be, so I used to test size in stores, and then I changed my career a bit different. I started visiting elderly people at homes or mental institutions. So seeing how different people live in their homes, or how sometimes less privileged they are, or they're completely alone in their lives. Looking at them makes me feel that I'm so grateful that I found marriage. Sometimes I feel in which lifetime will they be ever blessed to get marriage in their lives? But I got saved from all this. So to me, that was the changing point in my life. Right, to say that I have it all. The little miseries that come in your life are not really miseries anymore, because you relate it to everyone around you, and you think, Bhagwan literally took my hand and shook me out of that little ocean and put me here. And I think that's been the changing bit in my life. I think from there, my perspective on things completely changed. So the little things that could bother me before, they don't bother me anymore. So I'm so grateful to marriage for putting me in that situation.
Time is my turn, isn't it?
No pressure.
No pressure. I think for me is when I started having the gratitude was when I went yatra. Only because it kind of changed my life, my perspective as well. Biggest perspective was when I went there, and there was one place where we went, and as you know, it's when in India, not a lot of kids are privileged to certain things, right? And we were giving out this what do you call it, packet of sweets, right? And just packet of sweets, and then as a kid, the first thing you do is be grateful and stuff, right? So we were just giving out, and this kid, he was, when I looked at it, literally holding it so tight, he was it was like a personal thing that someone has given to him, you know. And it's you just think about it, damn, it's just like a sweet, how much, 10p, 20p is. The kid was holding it so tight to him, the first time that someone has given him anything. And that made me think, damn, for him, if that little thing he's grateful so for, much. What am I actually grateful for? I have everything I could ask for, right? Food, shelter, everything you have. Other people in the country or in the world, right, struggle to get water. I have that. Water is here, literally right in front of me. Yet,
take it for granted.
Take it for granted. And that change of perspective, I'm you know what? It's actually, you need to start thinking about life more seriously, rather than just be I want this, I want this. Because the one thing I realized is when you chase after want, right, you forget what you have. And we as human beings, we are biggest culprit in this. We chase after it, but then the stuff you have, you forget about it, and then you start chasing, and then when you go back to the stuff you have, you lose that as well. And those small stuff, I think, just be grateful for what you have. That's like we previously mentioned. What you have, just be content to it. Don't think about what I need, what can be, what I need to have, whatever it is. But just be content to what you have.
I think you could be content to what you have, but you don't have to stop growing.
That's the one.
So we have to make
be careful.
We have to distinguish that. You must go after your careers if you want to do that.
Have aspirations.
Have aspirations.
Think outside the box.
Be grateful for what you have. So we are content. We are grateful for what we have, but we must not stop growing.
And it's the thing is all right. It's there's a quote I wrote there. When you're grateful for what you have, it's like marriage, right? He will automatically, if you say I'm grateful for this, he'll automatically
give you more.
He's not gonna be I'm not gonna give you. So what he's trying to do is teach you a lesson. Yeah, saying if you're happy with this, then I'm going to reward you with more.
Yeah.
Maybe because you can handle more.
More, exactly.
Yeah.
If you can't handle the gratitude,
you can't
then
handle it.
yeah.
How much more can
How
you
much
give
you
you,
get?
really?
And if he does give you more and more and more, you're greedy now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Or he could give you more.
Yeah.
But he wants to see how humble you stay.
Exactly.
Like a test.
Are you still down?
Yeah.
on that?
It's all test. That's
Yeah,
all
it is. Yeah.
It's all test, yeah.
And my last question is, if there was anyone alive or not alive today that you could express your gratitude to, who would it be and why? So I can start. It's a very hard question, yeah.
For one person?
It could be anyone. It could be anyone, satsang related, non-satsang related. To me, the person that I'd be most grateful for is Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, like all those people that changed society. I think they deserve so much gratitude for showing people what human rights are, first of all, but also giving people a voice when they thought they didn't have it. And they literally changed the community completely, you know? And like, even today, when you say those names, it gives me shivers because I just think, wow, they've done so much.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, they've sacrificed so much for the future, for their generation, for the next generation of people.
It's like he's given us independence and all that.
Exactly.
We wouldn't have had that.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for these people.
yeah. That's why if I could express my gratitude, Mahatma Gandhi.
And again, it just becomes a tick box. We've only heard of that.
Yeah.
But we don't really think about it.
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah. Do you have anyone that if you could express your gratitude to, you could, or you would?
I think picking one person that's just injustice. Okay, I'll probably pick two people.
Okay.
Sorry. So, like I said, my journey started with my parents.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to my parents for everything they've done for me.
Yeah.
And the second person will be my husband.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm ever so grateful.
You got questions, right?
I am grateful to him. Well, he's the backbone of our house. So he helps me so that we could balance satsang at home. He helps me so I could still have a career. So he's the key that balances my career to my household, to satsang. And I am very grateful for that, because for some people that doesn't come quite naturally.
I agree.
Yeah,
having
so
a partner. Yeah, having a partner who really encourages you to grow and doesn't feel shunned by your success and your progress.
Yeah, or if we feel that the satsang is going a bit lopsided, he's the key that will bring it back. So I am so grateful to him for that. Yeah.
Again, no pressure.
I would say, right, you said family and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the people, the friends I have, let me give them some credit as well. Behind the scenes, let's I think the people around me, for me is, if they make impact to my life, then I'm gonna hang around them. As selfish as it sounds, right? Because it should benefit you, right? And people who I have around me, I cannot stress enough and be grateful for them, because things I've been through, they've always been there to support me. And without them, I wouldn't be here where I am.
Yeah. And
always the encouragement to be a better person is from them as well. My parents are there, which I'm truly grateful for, as you mentioned, right? We're all grateful for our parents, but we should also give credit to the people around us who shaped us the way we are today. And I think these guys, as annoying as they are, because they're friends,
they're friends.
As much as I hate them as well, I'll give them the credit.
I'm sure they love you.
Maybe. But I think I'll give them the credit.
Brilliant. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed talking about gratitude as much as I did.
Yeah, we did reflect on that.
We did reflect.
I love that. Which is perfect for the end of the year. So thank you for joining today's podcast, and stay in touch with the SSY YouTube and other channels, so you know what else is happening throughout the year. But also stay in touch for the next podcast that we'll be releasing on goal setting. See you then. Shree Swaminarayan.
Swaminarayan.
Subscribe, hit the like button, share as well. Love.